Okay, much has happened between the last two clips and the last month's donations and deliveries. This one's going to be a little bit out of sequence, mostly because I want to start off with two particular products that I want to talk especially about. This is one I have been after for an exceptionally long time. I've been to the Melbourne Gun Show, the SSAA SHOT Show, and I finally caught up with Rob Herbert from R&N Blades, and finally got a Zoe zipper. These are handmade knives. I've been watching this guy build up his business for many years, and I've been after one of his blades for such a long time. They are so popular, you've got to pretty much line up and be the first in the queue. I paid for a hotel room overnight. It cost me about $500 just to get first in line, or at least very close to first in line at the show to get this. These are very nice knives. They are well made, they balance properly, fit my hand nicely. There's a good grip here, and you can get good control in them. They're all just really nice for skinning knives and small game. This is just a really good all-round useful thing to have. And I paid my good hard-earned cash for this, but it's well worth it. Now, I did get a couple of free stickers, which I'm happy to stick in here. A couple of these ones. These are some of his I guess promotional material, but these will get stuck on something appropriate, maybe my 8-wheeler, maybe one of my military vehicles, I don't know. We'll stick them somewhere, but this is good stuff. So yes, I have been waiting far too long for one of these. He makes Kydex sheaths for them. They go in very positive click. It's all very robust, good, strong stuff. Now, also in this list of stuff, RMK Leather. They make a pancake holster that I did a video on, or at least a brief mention of, some years ago. It was an experimental thing at the time they did, and I put my Leatherman in it. Then I went and hooned around in tanks all weekend. Surprisingly, didn't lose my Leatherman. So yeah, because it doesn't have the security of a flap like this. I asked them today, they recognized me, asked them today for a more robust knife sheath. This one has an adjustable screw you can pull up and down. This is certainly the armor plated of leather work, and certainly they've got a better system with this clip in here on the back. So much better than some of the other solutions we've got. Again, these are expensive, but very well worth it when you don't want to lose your gear. So there's not many people I will trust to make a knife, and not many people I will trust with my gear on my belt. So yeah, two very trustworthy companies. You've got RMK Leather and you've got R&N Blades. This is just a dedicated shout out to these two guys. Wonderful stuff. Go check them out. You can't beat them. Now, this is a delivery. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And I rearranged all my knives. I don't know where they are, but I do have a new one here. I've got the Zoe zipper. Probably not what it's strictly designed to do, but that is definitely a very sharp knife. So that is just pushing through with 2 fingers. Oh, I love this knife already. This is going to be a really nice one. This is what you get when you pay for a handmade expert knife. That is going to be wonderful. So check out R&N Blades. He's on Facebook. Excellent stuff. Wow. Can't wait to try it out on a rabbit. Alright. These should be laptop batteries. Looking at these. Z7WNW1s. These are the ones for my Dell Latitude Rugged 5420. It has dual batteries, and you can swap them out, hot swap them. So you can pull one battery out while it's running, swap it, and then do the same with the other one without having to turn everything off. So these are Chinese clones, of course, but we'll see how reliably they work. I think the genuines are made in China anyway. They certainly look and feel the part. We'll see how they go. I had to just pull out the Zoe zipper again. I am stoked with this. Okay, watch this. This is sharper than a razor blade. I just got to touch that and just slide it along. That is crazy. Now, another sticker in the pack is SSAA, Sporting Shooters Association of Australia. I have been a member of these in the past. Well worth it. Part of your membership does include liability insurance. They give you a little card to that effect. Generally all-round responsible group of people to be involved with. They definitely preach safety and responsibility and accountability. So they're all the things you want to be doing. So good stuff. Now, in my travels in picking up a vehicle, I decided we needed a new windscreen mount. I'm not sure if this one is going to do it. This is a want to talk one, or walk and talk. Apparently it's got a warranty on it, like a 2-year warranty. And it works like this. Not really designed for people who have cases on their phones. It doesn't really, these grippers are a bit narrow. But I'm thinking maybe I can pull these rubber feet out and maybe it will fit the rubber case I've got. I'm going to work on it. The angle of this, with a new vehicle we've got, the windscreen is angled such that the phone sits too high here and it forces it down. So this may not actually be an appropriate option. And the amount of leverage it puts on your air vents, which this is your vent mount socket, it's probably just going to rip those air vents right out. So probably not really that great of an idea, but we'll see how it goes. We'll try it out. Something else I spent an irresponsible amount of money on was an XRS Connect 5-watt UHF CB. This is going to go in the wife's new Jeep. She will need one. The XRS system on these allows you to connect your phone with Bluetooth. If there are other units, other radios out there with the XRS system, they can announce their position on the map as well. It helps you travel in a fleet. This would be the only one we have that has XRS. I may update some of the other ones later on. My other ones are all programmable ones, and I don't have an amateur license anymore, so they probably need to get removed. In any case, this is nice, but the reason I went with this one, she has a posh new car with not much dash space, so the main transmit unit just hides away and all the controls are available on the handset. Works very well for us. This was something like $450 or a little bit more, but this is basically a 5-watt handheld radio in a little unit, just with transmit finals that are a little bit easier to replace, and everything all plugs in. So this is nice chunky handset, which it would probably need to be, but good positive click button. And in Australia the laws are such that you're allowed to use these while you're driving, under the Telecommunications Act, whereas a phone you can't pick it up and use it. So this is a nice little difference in here. There's a bunch of accessories in here, the mounting brackets. Yes, this is the really bulky microphone hangers. This is your little coupler. It's an RJ45 coupler for the microphone. Diffuse, some stickers, all the other sort of stuff that comes with it. So interesting stuff. But we will do a video on that install when we get to it, and when I figure out how to put this back in the packet. I used to install a few of these when I worked as a communications technician, and the compact ones that have the front panel on them as well. So these are not unfamiliar with me, and GME stuff's pretty reliable. GME and ICOM, two very reliable brands. Okay, so the weather has warmed up a little bit, which means we're going to deal with air conditioning noise in the background. Hope you can deal with that. So today on Deliveries, I stopped into a former place of employment and picked up an AE 4005 UHF antenna. Previously mentioned was the vehicle accident in which we had to replace a vehicle, and I'm putting a new CB in. I'm putting that little GME unit in. I think I will have shown earlier. Donation Deliveries has got a bit out of whack lately. Anyway, these are kits I put in the past. This is a 2.1 dB whip, not the highest gain, but pretty much impossible to break. Basically, they coil up some of the coax here to make a loading coil, and then they just put a piece of braid up inside this plastic tube. Really flexible, really bendy. For convoy operations, the radiation pattern on these, and people will tell you it's a load of bull crap, and to some degree there is a lot of wank factor with antennas, but these will radiate in a nice round pattern, like sort of above 6 dB. When you're getting to 9 and 12 dB, they sort of radiate out in a flat pattern, so you get good range. But if you're like us and you're in the really steep hilly country and you've got two vehicles on a ledge, you know, up like this, you can sort of skip over the top of people and get crappy reception. So a 2.1 dB rubber duck is actually kind of ideal for that. The price is also very good. They are a fixed coax, and you've got to solder on the connector yourself, but that's not too hard to do, especially when you've got an SWR meter. You can check your work afterwards. So this is going to go onto a little 5-watt UHF with XRS on it too, which will be kind of handy. So the only radio I've got with XRS, but we'll find out if anybody else in the bush has got it. Now, I've done a lot of GME stuff and a lot of ICOM and Motorola and other radios, but maybe if there's a GME rep out there, you might like to send us a product sample, and I'll give you guys a shout out. Kind of like that. At the moment, I'm definitely looking for sponsorship related stuff. After this vehicle incident, my savings are more or less non-existent, so hopefully insurance pays out. But either way, I will be more open to promoting stuff than I would normally be at the moment. Alright, another day, more donations. We have what looks to be a 12 volt switch mode supply here. No current rated. Good AC-DC isolation in here. Some holes drilled in the board and whatnot. These are pretty much what goes in wall plug packs. Being a DC 12-2, I'm going to guess this is probably a 2 amp. Kind of good. This is what I use for cameras a lot. Now I have this mystery box that got dumped on me with the words of, you might be interested in what's in here. So we'll see if that's correct. If I can work out how to open the box. There we go. Alright, so we have, for a start, a little relay timer based unit. And somebody's altered the capacitor here, probably trying to make different pulse speeds with it, and a 10-turn pot for adjustment. Kind of handy. This next board here looks like it's an Alltronics 6062 timer board. Kind of nice. With some nice big screw terminals. Normally open, normally closed, trigger input. That could be handy. I have a cat deterrent project that might work for. What's in here? We have a Chemo brand unit. These are usually potted in circuits that are very robust. What do we got here? This is a time switch for 12 volt DC. M113A. I think M113 personnel carriers when I see that. We've got stop and start, relay stuff. I'll dig up the manual for that, although it looks like that is actually included. That looks like the Chemo manual in primarily German. Okay, we also had a little hiccup with the recording there, but we have an assortment of these little timers, which are, yeah, geez, they've got some long stems on those switches. These look to be little just programmable timer circuits that will be handy. So somebody was clearly playing with timers here and tried a bunch of different options. So yeah, these will be handy. I will find something to use them for at some point. Oh, this one's a mains voltage one. Yeah, okay, well that might be handy for, oh, it's got a front panel on it. That's cool. Yeah, so mains voltage timer that's panel mount. That's kind of handy. So yeah, alright, all in all, this will probably be handy. This will go in the shed for probably a year or so until I find out what to do with it. But in the end, it'll get used for something in a project somewhere. Anyway, let's see what shows up next. Alright, we're in the field for this delivery. We've got some 5W40 diesel. I was hoping for 2 7 litres instead of 1 10 litre because the 7s are on special. We paid about the same for 10 as we could have for 14. Doesn't matter. This is going to be fancy pants diesel because diesel oil, because it's going into a fancy pants diesel. Anyway, we have a spare funnel as well. That'll go with that. Let's see what else we get. Alright, another parcel has arrived. Going to get into this with the R&N Blades Zoe zipper. We're not quite skinning rabbits, but we're skinning boxes. This, if I think is right, this will be something for my senior advisor. This should be a manufacturer recertified hard drive. It should be of a sizable size. The sizable sizes matter. And so here we go. This is, I must confess, a very expensive box knife. But getting used to how to use it is valuable. There we go. Alright. This should be, packed like they should be. This is a Seagate 18 terabyte Exos X20 drive. So leave that in the wrapping. That's going to go around to a server. Alright, we're in the field for this donation. This is one of several things from Alan. We'll go over the rest of them later. Alan is a channel member, has been a supporter for quite some time. He was kind enough to gift me a whole bunch of computer stuff. But this is immediately useful, so we're chucking this into the donations and deliveries while we're in the field. Okay, today we've had some notable donations from a loyal and long-term channel member, Alan, who's donated a few things. He does deal in second-hand computers a bit, so I've got a bunch of different things. I have a Bluetooth speaker system here that we'll check on. We've got a UPS, a 4G modem. We have a horn, which will be interesting. I'll use it for something. We have this, which is a surplus monitor stand, which that alone looked kind of interesting. Do we go for a walk and see what else he gave me? What do we got here? The 3 monitors here that go with it, and a computer, a box of associated bits and pieces. There is a Matrox triple head monitor adapter in there I'll dig out in a minute. Another computer over here as well. I fished this out of the box. This is a triple head to go, so basically you use a single output from your video card plus USB, and it extends it across 3 desktops. It's a discontinued product, largely irrelevant with modern video cards having multiple outputs and screen spanning, but still nifty nonetheless. It's something I can probably make use of. There are also all the 19-volt power supplies for all the monitors in here. This, I think, has 32 gig of RAM. I had a look, and it's got an mSATA NVMe, or not, just an mSATA SSD in it. So that might be better than my financial manager's computer, so we might do an upgrade, which means my apprentice might get the trickle down as well. All in all, some very handy donations, much welcome, and we will put these into service fairly shortly. Thanks very much, Alan. We'll show you some videos later on when we get all these up and running. I almost forgot to mention, in amongst some of the other things Alan dropped off, was this HP system. It's missing the power supply, but it's got laptop RAM in it. And a couple of WinFast PX7950GX2 video cards. Oh no, this one's a GeForce 8800 GTS. I'll see what I can do with them. Okay, something else arrived in the post today. This thing. Let's have a look here. See what we get. These might be mounting brackets for an LED light bar. There's a reason why I was after these. Let's get the light bar. Now, a year or 2 ago, I got gifted this light bar, but it came without brackets. I finally decided I wanted to use it, so I figured I'd see if we could get a difficult to open plastic bag with the feet on it. Or in it, even. Let's have a look here. Now, it has these little bits here to interface with it so that it can lock into a position. And so it looks like they will interface nicely. The height is about right. It's good. Let's check if the thread of the bolts is correct. Let's see here. These are probably the ones we want to go in here. They're usually a 6 or an 8 mil. That looks about right. Okay, they're going to thread in nicely. Okay, and the other included nuts and bolts do actually thread together. And yes, this is a problem sometimes. They give you really cheap nuts and bolts. Okay, among the deliveries today, we have another battery. This one is going into the Jeep that we have here, and it's going to be hopefully better than the one that's in there. We have a few problems with it, like some stuttering and whatnot, so we're going through the whole process of changing things until something fixes the problem. So today, the battery. Anyway, see how we go.